KOPW is fully set, and we now have our full card heading into Jingu Stadium as Day 12 of New Japan Pro Wrestling Summer Struggle has come to an end. KOPW 2020 has brought some very interesting dynamics to what we've come to know over the years of New Japan Pro Wrestling in just these 4 matches alone. And I really enjoyed it. Nice opening card, too. Hello, everybody. I'm just Simple Man, and my name's Noah Foster. Welcome once again to another Simple Take. It's pure, it's simple, it's wrestling. It's as simple as that. With that, let's go ahead and talk about what we saw on today's show this morning, August 26th from KOPW 2020. This is being recorded 6:31 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesday, August 26th. Let's go ahead and briefly talk about what we saw. Our opening match featured a 6-man tag as we had Young Lion duo Uya Yamara and Yosuji and their partner Blue Justice Yuji Nagata. They took on the brand new 6-man never openweight champions in Hiroki Goto, Tomohiro Ishii, and the headhunter Yoshihashi after 12 years. Such a beautiful thing to see, isn't it? Also, before I get into the matches, let me also talk about the aesthetics as now they try to basically pipe in remote cheer type atmosphere, probably driven by the NJPW type of app too. In the venue tonight, of course, emanating from Corrigan Hall. It was interesting. It was different. It wasn't overblown. And it didn't really overshadow the actual fans reacting, which, of course, the only way a fan can react now in New Japan Pro Wrestling is clapping. As the Japanese commentary, of course, kept on leading us on. But I liked it. Chris Charlton lightly noted that bit weird to have the hall sounding like a stadium, but glad the organic applause is coming over the top. So, again, not overbearing, unlike other companies. Anyway, this 6-man open tag, pretty good WoW action as Ishii Nagata. I was just mostly looking at them, just brawling with each other, because when Tomohiro Ishii's brawling with somebody, I'm happy. But kudos to Uya Yamara taking it to Yoshihashi towards the end. But he fell, of course, to the Headhunters' butterfly lock and had no choice but to tap out. Short, quick opener. The Young Lion duo is constantly thriving. I always appreciate these Young Lions. I wait for the day they might actually win, because you never know. It's definitely going to be one of the breakout moments. The question is, who's going to break out first? Uya Yamara and Yota Tsuji. We need some one-on-one competition between them to see who really deserves to move on from Young Lion status. And right now, it's pretty even. I mean, one of them has a death wish for Minoru Suzuki. One of them wants to face Hiromu Takahashi just because he's a great wrestler. So, yeah, I'm very optimistic for both these Young Lions. Good opening match. And, of course, the chance one. I saw that coming. And now we got to figure out who will these new champions defend their titles against first. Only time will tell. Moving on from there, we go into 8-man tag team action as we preview a couple of matches to come at Jingu Stadium. The IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team title match, as well as the special singles match that I've been waiting forever. As we had Golden Ace duo, my gosh, Ibushi and the Ace are ripped. They've been working hard. Golden Star Kota Ibushi and the Ace of New Japan, Hiroshi Tanahashi, and their partners, Master Wato, the Grandmaster, and Hiroshi Tenzin. They took on my faction, Suzuki-gun, Asaninare, led, of course, by the Holy Emperor, and one half of the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Champions as part of Dangerous Tekkas with Zack Sabre Jr., Taiji, and their partners, of course, were Dukai and the Heel Master, Yoshinobu Kawamaru. Pretty wild back and forth match. I love the fact that the opener was pretty much our preview of the match, one of my top 3 matches I'm looking forward to the most this Saturday morning, and that is Heel Master versus the Grandmaster. But overall, it was a very competitive match, and in the end, momentum favors right now the tag team champions as Dukai did fall to the Aces' high five flow. And the champs right now trying to play mind games with their challengers, not so much working anymore, as it seems now that the the champions don't really have control psychologically anymore over the challengers. The challengers just picked up the belts from me. It just says 3 days, 3 days. Hand it back to the champs. We move on from there. It's going to be interesting to see how this all breaks down. But again, we're just going to have to wait and see. And honestly, I'm just looking forward to Heel Master versus Grandmaster because I really think that match could go either way. And I'm looking very forward to it. Taiji's like, pick the belt up, pick them up, I told you. Kota and the Ace are like, no, we're just going to get them back to you. I think it's safe to say that Golden Ace are on the same page now. And I feel like right now that the Ace is having much more of a heavier influence from Kota versus Kota having more of a heavier influence from the Ace. Very interesting dynamic, of course, as Hiroshi Tanahashi once Kotobushi now to ascend past him. He must become God. Can it happen as soon as this Saturday? Only time will tell. 20 years though, guys, and still going. Just saying. Anyway, as we move on from there, good grief, that freaking high kick by Taiji. We finally go into our KOPW matches for KOPW 2020 that will define the four that will face each other at Jingu Stadium for the trophy. Nice little trophy. And our opening match of these four was the no finishers match. As from Suzuki-gun, El Desperado, he took on Mr. Lariato himself. Couldn't use it here, not supposed to. In, of course, Satoshi Kojima. And this match was everything as I expected. As literally. And at one point I thought it was just going to be thrown out early. Kojima could not resist, but try and lariat Desperado's head off. As Desperado tried to focus more on that submissions game versus his finisher, which of course is the Pinte Loca. Of course, we also know he has numero dos, and that was actually his driving force in most of this match, trying to make the man submit or tap out, hinder him. Things broke down, though, and again, psychological warfare, it worked in Suzuki-gun's favor. But I do wonder, though, if Satoshi actually cares that he lost. I wonder if he actually truly wanted to win. Anyway, at one point, we get, it is Sierra almost, but basically Desperado says, I'll hit your best friend, Tenson's move. Again, psychological warfare, because we all know Tenkozy, very real friends in this great tag team from the World Tag League. Anyway, as this match progressed, the ref was not down, and literally Desperado is meeting Satoshi Kojima with his own lariats, and Satoshi's not budging, but you can tell he's getting frustrated, and the frustration, it finally boiled over. You could not take any more, and it just as the ref was gaining consciousness, BAM! Lariato, it may have knocked out El Desperado in the match, but it knocked out Satoshi Kojima out of KOPW 2020. He just couldn't resist. And of course, as Chris Johnson read to my tweet, come on, you know, I knew this is Suzuki-gun. They always come with a plan. El Desperado is no fool. He knew he could get better at this old timer, as he calls him. And he did. And the bottom line is this. He won. I was right. After he did this as well after the match. So, we got our first of four, El Desperado. Satoshi Kojima, his lariat's still powerful, but shouldn't have used it. He's out. And as Chris John says, he knew what he was doing for sure. Absolutely. And literally, thick arms but an empty head via his previous backstage commentary. As my friend CRNRH, please follow him on Twitter and follow WrestleJoy, lightly put as well. Which moves us now to a match of a whole different story. As we had Toru Yano take on Bushi in what was decided to be 2 count pinfalls only. No disqualification, no submissions, no countouts. The only way to win was by a 2-fall pin. Or 2-pin count, excuse me. Watch. This match wasn't even a match. Good lord. I mean, so many. This was the definition. If you want to know how many near falls you can get in a match, just go look at this. This was absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, I don't even know where to begin. One. And eventually, Toru Yano, he does take the turnbuckle pad off. They go out of the side of the ring, and then he tries to bring tape into play. Bushi, however, thinks he finally outsmarts Yano, gets the tape, and literally tapes his legs up. And then goes to put him in the ring, thinking that, oh, now he can't kick out. And Toru Yano, he's just susceptible, laying there literally like a fish out of water. However, ingenuity won the day here, as Bushi, I think, was doing more emotionally. A few more subtle kicks, was going for a unique, I think, overproduced, or trying to be, pinning combination. And Yano just rolled his body enough to cover Bushi. 1, 2, there's your winner. As my good friend Cindy puts it, oh, Bushi. What does Bushi got to do to catch a break? And yes, folks, he did throw another tantrum again. And taped up feet aside, Toru Yano is moving on in KOPW 2020. What the hell did I just watch? That was fun. Bushi, I don't know what to do with this guy at this point. Maybe he should go on excursion. Jeez. Which brings me now to the best match of the show, and the match I was most looking forward to in the KOPW 2020, between Cold Skull Sonata and Roppongi 3K's Shock Arrow Show. And these two put on a clinic when it came to a game of human chess and dissection. So many incredible submissions were showcased here. Counter for a forearm, for an arm lock, a key lock it seems, and went for the arm bar. Sonata. It was kind of interesting seeing what they were targeting at first. Sonata targeting what basically was the right leg forward slash knee of Show, and Show targeting the left arm, of course. And in the end, what was interesting about this is it mostly was just submissions play and mat game. It got a little physical, especially when Sonata broke out of submission, literally with a deadlift over the top power slam. Wow. Sonata is incredibly strong. I don't care what anyone tells me. But in the end, I just think about this. Joe, he wanted this match because everybody he's been in the ring with, he has submitted, except for one person. And that one person was freaking Sonata. And Sonata did it again. Good for Sonata, too, because I feel like he really had to go for the win here. As again, this was just, if you had like a video game status of the bodies, you literally would just see yellow limbs for each man. And in the end, Sonata, he pulled it off. The roll through and lift on the leg lock, basically. Almost figure four, and then kind of lifting for extra elevation. Show could not take it anymore. Not the skull end that he won with. Sonata won with different submission moves. He was the better submission-based wrestler here. We need to see him versus Axel Jr. now in all submissions match, just saying. And Sonata moves on. Show, again, these are the best matches he's ever going to have. He is truly showing something to all New Japan Pro Wrestling. His moment, I feel, will come, but for right now, keep trying, my friend. It was a hell of an effort. Which brings us now to the last match. And of course, before I forget, yes, there is, of course, cleaning and disinfectant break that was before the submissions match. And also the Yano and Bushi match, as always, per New Japan Pro Wrestling safety regulations. I greatly appreciate that from this company. Which brings us to the main event, which was Okada, the Rainmaker, taking on Bullet Club in a 3-on-1 handicap. The trio of Tokyo Pimp, Yujiro Takahashi, Gedo, and Jado. A belt, a kendo stick, not the pimp cane though, but everything mental-wise and physical-wise to come into play here. But you figured you could stop the Rain. You only maybe slightly hindered him. It was an easy win at the end of the day, as Okada literally made freaking Gedo tap out to the Cobra Clutch. I'll give him credit, though. Those three showed great tag team chemistry. They did their best with what they could. But again, Okada, he's just on a whole nother level. As Joe tries to bring him down to his level, didn't work. And Jojo is also out. So there's our four for KOPW 2020. It is Okada, Yano, El Desperado, and Sonata. 2 members from Chaos. And the person that actually talked about this, we didn't see that coming. Afterwards, Okada did have some post-match thoughts, as Chris Charlton at Reason JP did translate. It was a tough 1-on-3 match, not something I can compare to an IWGP title match mine. Well, it's a different environment and a different mind in itself, and a different match in itself, you know? You're still going for the win, but you also need to figure out now, you have to deal with 3 men versus 1. So you just got to, try and isolate. And he did with Gedo. Go figure. Okada says, right now we have wrestlers all over the world doing different things, wrestling different styles. I think we showed tonight some matches that were very different to the NJPW norm. I think he's correct. I can't remember the last time we saw a handicap match. 2-count pinfall match. When was the last time that ever happened in New Japan Pro Wrestling? Submissions match, I think, has happened before, not necessarily the most rare thing. And a non-finishers match, I mean, you see it all the time in wrestling. People sign contracts like, you can't use this, you can't use that. But usually that's one-sided. So I really enjoyed the variety from the normal that we got offered to us today from KOPW 2020. I'm really enjoying this. Okada says, this was all my idea. So I definitely plan to win Saturday and continue to show the diversity of pro wrestling. I'll treat it as a 1v3 Saturday as well. Confidence. But can Okada make history and be the first KOPW 2020 winner this Saturday at Jingu Stadium, where they're going to bring the fireworks, hopefully not landmines and C4 and barbed wire like in the days past. Good Lord. Okada thinks, I think that the IWGP's very presence at the top is right and is above KOPW 2020 perhaps. But this title is something different, worthy of respect in its own way, and shows the breadth of what NJPW wrestlers can do. And I like that because, again, you think that every wrestler needs to have the title to be that guy, to be the top guy. But the bottom line was this. I feel like, honestly, there's nothing wrong with a little bit of variety. as long as it's not overbearing. And this doesn't really overshadow any of the titles or the title holders, as none of these men in this match are currently holding a title. I like this. I like this a lot. And I'm super looking forward to the show tomorrow. It will be our final show of the New Japan Summer Struggle Tour, as we will have Evil and Taiji Mori taking on Naito and Roma Takahashi, proving the top tier championship matches for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight and the IWGP Heavyweight Intercontinental Championship bouts. How will those play out? Will be an all LIJ night. Will be an all Bullet Club night, especially with JY and the slow tweet 829. Or is he trolling? Only time will tell. But that's all I gotta say for now on this Simple Take. Stay tuned tomorrow's show for another Simple Take, and then I'll be simply predicting botch. Well, I guess I will be, technically. KOPW 2020, as well as Jingu Stadium in full, as well as, of course, with a Simple Take once again with you all following the show, too. I may be in college, I may be working harder than ever at my job, but I'm never going to let up on my love and passion and following for New Japan Pro Wrestling. With that being said, you want to know more about me? Know this. I'm just a simple man, lifelong fan of ... wrestling. Everywhere. YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, PlayStation. It's N Foster 1916. Just look up that name. The YouTube URL, I think, is still youtube.com//NoFoster210 for all things wrestling. Shout out to my ATW family on Twitter. Stay tuned. Other content this week includes AEW Spark, AEW Spark Charged, another live Simple Chat this Friday evening, and another, in general, prediction session with my group. We are CJN for Payback. W, you're ridiculous. And until next time, as always, support WrestleJoy, support No DQ, support Team All Elite, support Pro Wrestling Discussions, just support wrestling, support Pro Wrestling, because that's the heart of it. Support wrestling house big and small. Let's keep growing this incredible, diverse, unique, elite wrestling community together. Simple as that. Until next time, please like, share, subscribe, comment, tell a friend. Hit the bell, no video goes on this channel. Hit the subscribe button, help me grow this channel. And I hope you all just take care, enjoy live. Tomorrow's never guaranteed. Treasure your families, enjoy wrestling. Be safe, be smart, wear a mask. Make a friend or make an enemy in the rest of the community too. I'm not going to judge you. And until next time, where my channel is becoming simpler than ever because my life is becoming more strenuous than ever. Please take care of yourselves physically and mentally. And have a wonderful evening. Gokigenyo, sayonara.